she's my little sister, but wow, she's, yeah, really inspiring. You are really inspiring, not expiring.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and I was diagnosed with lymphoblastic lymphoma in December 2007. I found a lump under my arm, and I went to the doctors, and the doctors basically said it was just my deodorant. So I went away, and it feels like the lump went away as well, but then it came back even bigger to the point where my arm would kind of go dead. After further testing, found out it was stage 3 and it had spread to my chest, my stomach as well. My first thought was literally, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my hair. Because that's all I knew about cancer at the age of 17 is you lose your hair, and I thought that was it. I was then admitted to UCLA's teenage cancer ward, and I began treatment on the 31st of December 2007. I had my chemotherapy over a 24-hour period. They flushed it out and then I was sent home. Once I was sent home, I was probably there for like a week. I remember I took a nap and then my body it's like my body shut down like a stroke. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, and I couldn't even swallow my own saliva, and it was scary. They told me they had never seen this side effect before, that it's extremely rare. They didn't really have any information on how to deal with it. They didn't know whether I would recover, whether I'll be able to speak or walk or anything. My body was generally really weak from just chemotherapy in general, just like fatigue and stuff. But then when I had the reaction to the chemotherapy and my whole body literally shut down within 3 hours, and I was completely paralyzed. I basically had something called methotrexate-induced encephalopathy, which means toxin to the brain, so it's like a brain injury. It just changed like my whole life, physically, but also mentally. For months, I was bedridden. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. Over the time, my speech kind of slowly came back. If I walk for too long, it also affects me because my knee starts to lock out and I just feel really fatigued. Everything just zaps my energy. I always say I don't have the same 24 hours as everyone else. And I can say that because I know what it's like to live without a disability. If I want to go to the mall, to go to the shop, like it's a big effort, it's a big energy. Luckily, I've managed to keep like a positive outlook on life. I'm mainly positive and I'm able to get through. But when I do have the down days, I feel like they're extremely down. It's like a realization of, wow, you're kind of dealing with a lot, you're living with a lot. I have to do my exercise, I have to do my stretching. If I don't do those things, then my body starts to go backwards. When people always say to me, oh, you're so like disciplined, I have no choice but to be disciplined because it's the only way I'm able to continue and not decline physically. I had about 6 months left when I stopped my treatment. In April 2010, I got told there was no evidence of disease, and I've been cancer-free ever since then. Ever since I had cancer, I've just driven everywhere. Luckily, I've had a mobility car literally since I started driving. And it's because of public transport for me. It's so hard to use. People just lack awareness when you're out on the roads. And because of that factor, I just feel a bit unsafe being in those spaces. I actually passed my test when I was 19, and I just remember that day, it just felt so good to be able to go see people and see friends and have that freedom to leave the house when I want and not have to rely on my mum to like drive me places or my friends to pick me up. And though I wasn't extremely social after everything I'd gone through, it was just nice to know that I had the choice for when I left and when I come home, and I wasn't dependent on others. So every day I have like a set routine that I do in the morning. Normally wake up like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then I'll do my stretches. So I'll do some band works, a band that goes around here. And then I do those stretches and then stretch my body, do bad lunging. Then I do like probably 40 minutes or more vigorous exercise using a band or weights. Then I go and do my wall stretches and stretch on a strap as well. So all of those things just help me make sure my body has good mobility and that I don't get stiff. And without those exercises, basically, I wouldn't be able to be as mobile, because I notice a difference when I don't actually exercise. So I just try to keep that like at least 5 times a week. But yeah, that's my routine. This is my older brother, Jason, and I've come today for an acupuncture session. He's helped me a lot throughout my journey. First of all, he was my personal trainer, helped me a lot with my mobility and rehabilitation. And since he's become an acupuncturist and studied Chinese medicine, he's been giving me acupuncture sessions for about 7 years. I really appreciate like all the support you're giving me as well. Like it means a lot, because it was actually very expensive when I had my body shut down, and mom and dad had to pay for a lot of private sessions and stuff like that for me. Something that wasn't attainable to keep doing like throughout my whole life. So I know when I had to keep things up, but having you there to like train me and then give me these sessions and stuff for free, like I really appreciate it.
Do you remember we done the Pulse course together?
Yeah.
And then you were like, I'm your inspiration. That took me back, because you were my inspiration to get you to get into this and help people, and then also try and do affordable treatments.
I always remember this story, like, so I'm gonna get you to tell it, like what happened, like how you found out when my body shut down, if that makes sense. You know what I'm talking about, so I'll let you explain it.
I've gone on holiday, we've gone snowboarding fest. So it's a festival where you're basically we're snowboarding in the daytime and then we're partying at night time. And I've gone to bed from like one of the parties and my phone battery has gone dead, as it usually does. And I just had this dream or premonition, I don't know what you want to call it, but it was you in a dark room sitting down, and I said, are you okay? And you said, no, not really. And then I just had this like massive feeling of anxiety, and I couldn't use my phone, so I've gone into my friend's room. I was like, I need to use someone's phone. They're like, get out of the room, Jace, we're hungover, what's going on? And I was like, just give me your phone. But then as I rang, Mum actually answered your phone and said, no, she's not doing too well, she can't speak, her body's closing down. And I remember thinking, wow, I need to get home. But Mum said, there's no point, you could just like enjoy your holiday and then come back. And then when I actually got back, we know what Dad is like. He seems to make matters worse when he describes things. So when I got back, it was a shock to see how you were, because you were really skinny, you couldn't move, you couldn't talk. But he said you had like 1,000 pipes coming out of you and all of that. And I think you had like maybe 2 or 3. And I was like, okay, so in a way that was better, because I was expecting something a lot, it was really bad. It was really bad, but I was expecting something a lot worse because of how he
Explained it.
Yeah. I just remember feeling helpless. I wanted to help, not really knowing what was going on. I saw it as my job as a big brother to push her. So she would be like, oh, I need help to get out of the car. I was like, I think you can do that yourself. I'm not helping you. And I think there was one time she actually walked all the way back home from the doctors because I wouldn't wait outside for her. I was like, yeah, well, you did it, didn't you? You done it, didn't you? So what's the problem? So it just kind of evolved.
I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was fuming.
I think the whole process brought the family closer together.
Yeah, it did. I definitely agree.
Yeah, then just let it hang, so arm out straight. Just gonna pull this shoulder blade towards your spine. We've got you doing the strengthening, but we now want the connections to work in your body as well.
I felt like on my journey, it was really, I found when I didn't do no physical activity, no extra things to do with my wellness or health, that I would feel my body decline.
She is the strongest woman I know. She was told that she wasn't able to walk, and she was like, nah, I'm not having that. I'm gonna walk. Her determination to do everything and get past any of the goals, writing a book, all of that stuff that's inspiring. She's my little sister, but wow, she's, yeah, really inspiring. You are really inspiring, not expiring.
So this is my family, this is my mum, Jean, this is my dad, Albert, this is my sister, Tanya, and my brother, Jason. As a family, we laugh a lot. We've got a lot closer, I feel like, since I went through cancer. I feel like it really kind of brought us closer.
Through that journey, I learned so much about you and realised how independent you were of us, basically, before you had cancer.
As a parent, father, that's something you never want to accept, because prior to getting cancer or going through treatment, she was completely able-bodied. I mean, growing up, she wanted to fight somebody, she could fight somebody, she could do what she wanted. She was a dancer, she was a cyclist, she was a runner, gymnastics. We'd go on holiday, we'd be swimming together, snorkeling, and all that's been taken away, you know?
Yeah.
We've had it, and we've got the memories, but it's been taken away because of what went wrong. And for me, it's just difficult, but you've got to accept it, you know?
But what was it like for you guys, like, as my siblings?
For me, like, you're my little sister at the end of the day, so it was more surreal for me until I heard, like, your story and little bits that I didn't know that you'd gone through. I was always there to support you, but I feel like I was still learning myself how to understand what you was going through.
Well, you was there when I needed you. I remember all the trips with the red pea soup to the hospital.
I was like, I need to get this red pea soup and I need to take it to you because I know that was one of your comforts.
Yeah, it was. Because the hospital food is not the one.
It definitely isn't. I don't know whether you did feel like a burden, but you was never a burden to us, but maybe you felt like that, so you didn't tell us the whole truth.
Yeah.
And we didn't always see that side, but when you put it down on paper, I was like, wow, that's what was actually going through your head.
I know those times that must have been hard, and I realised that it's a lot harder as well for the family. Even though I'm going through it, I know how to deal with it, I know how to process. For you guys, I guess you have no control of anything I'm going through. So I realised that it's also difficult for like you as a family as well. But you all were like my anchor. Like, you helped me stay grounded here. Like, how did you feel, bro?
Because at the time I was working at the garage and I could see the stress that Dad was under, so I just kind of being there to support him while he's being there to support you, or watching him make mistakes that I know is going to upset you, like polishing,
I knew that.
polishing your shoes, and just, you know, waiting at home listening to him moan.
I can have a great moment when Dad come to the hospital with my trainers and he polished my trainers, like, I know it came from the heart, but I'll never forget that. But I got a new pair of trainers out of it anyway. Yeah.
I thought, how could Matt not be shiny? Old school. Look, make these look nice.
The steroids really did a number
gosh.
on me.
Yeah.
I remember one time I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought I could sing. And I
That's it.
started singing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And I
and-
said
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to the X Factor when I'm better.
I'll never forget
And
that night.
I couldn't hold a note at all. And you was like, maybe you should wait till you wake up in the morning. Yeah.
And when you woke up, you said, I can't sing, can I?
Oh God. Yeah, that was classic.
That night we came home and you wanted, you had this thing about noodles when we were in the
Oh
hospital.
yeah.
And in the middle of the night, I could hear Charlotte calling out, Mum, it was 12 o'clock and I need my noodles. And I went down to the microwave and I'm talking to myself while I'm doing this. And I'm loving every moment of doing what I'm doing for you, but I'm going through stress and strain as well. And we had many conversations about, I'm feeling it as well. I can't possibly know what it's like for you. Just you can't know what it's like for me either. We've done everything together. You wouldn't do anything without asking. You wouldn't take medication from the hospital without checking with me whether they were giving you the right dosage and that. So that was a lot of pressure on me. But anything that I done for you, I done because I love you.
Definitely, like, I appreciate all of like the caring and the time.
Yeah.
So Jason had the summer house, like he done it up and he was living there. And then I think it was during COVID times. He's black. He moved out, and though he always called it his space.
Yeah.
I moved into there, and for me, that was a good step before me actually moving out into my own flat, because it gave me like another level of independence, and everything was on one level. Yeah, there was so many, I guess, high and low moments through like the whole process and stuff.
I feel that when things went wrong, it was out of our control at the start, which was so annoying, because I feel that the hospital could have done better. So when you decided to take matters into your own hand, when you was told you'd have to have hip replacements, shoulder replacements, you have to stay on the protocol that they'd put you on or you wouldn't make it, and you said, no, I know in my heart you knew your body, you know yourself. This was the new Charlotte coming through, the Charlotte that wanted to be here and was determined to be here. And so whatever you decided at that time, I was backing you 101%.
Yeah, because all the visits you had from all the specialists we went to, all those specialists, kinesiology and things like that. And it's what Anna said to you that time, when she said to you about, well, whatever I do goes backwards every time you have chemo. So when you said to me, what do I think about you coming off of it? I said, I'm 100% with you, because at the end of the day, no one knows where our story goes or what the future holds and things like that.
And to be honest, the life I've lived thus far has been good quality. Like, I didn't think it could actually feel as good as this. Even though I have a brain injury and a disability, I'm still able to, like, I guess, live life and kind of enjoy life and stuff. And I never thought that that was possible. And literally so much of my thanks is to all of you guys. Yeah, it's been a journey, I guess. I think when I look at the whole situation and everything that's happened with the brain injury, there's two sides. There's this side which is you can't help but think about life and how life could have been and what things may have looked like. But then, who knows? Maybe I would have been married with kids. Maybe I would have been in prison. You never know. You never know. Honestly,
That's the
like,
truth.
you never know
That
like
is
how
the
things
truth.
can go. But then there's that side of it, and then there's another side which is having this brain injury has also almost been a blessing to how it's opened my eyes up to see the world in a different way and given me more empathy to see how other people may struggle and deal with the world, something which I didn't really think about at all before, but now I'm very aware of because of my own experience. And that part is something that I would never take away because of that's helped me actually become a better human being, even though it's through something that was a very painful experience. It's been able to turn me into someone better. And that I'm grateful for.
I think we've got the best version of you.
Yeah, I agree.
Gosh, we have.
I'm just glad, I guess, that I've been able to grow into this person and I've not let this situation, I guess, affect me to a point where I'm sitting there feeling sorry for myself. I'm glad I'm still up and doing what I need to do to like get through life. And it's always gonna come back to you guys because, like I said, you guys really have helped be an anchor. And I can talk to all of you about anything I want to, like literally. And yeah, and I know sometimes, like I said earlier, like I do some crazy, weird stuff. But you guys just love me for who I am, and for that, yeah, I'm grateful, honestly. Yeah, that's a wrap. If I was to give any advice to anyone, that's what I'd say. You're not alone in this journey. It's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay to express. Just make sure you don't stay there too long. Make sure you have that routine, that toolkit that you can lean on when you feel like you are dipping. Make sure you have that support system.